only to 5,000. I'm tax and that's the always city. I was asking things and when there's a slide, you know, asking about safety or. That's huh? Oh, tell me, what did you get a text? I don't know. That's what I was asking about.
No, it's very good. I'll better step up. Yeah. What is it? Yeah, send you over the bus. We in labor operators. That lady.
Right, yeah. We talk about.
Yeah.
Guys here. You know, you know.
Righty, 6 o'clock. You ready? Okay, today's Thursday, August 8th, 2024 at 6 o'clock, and I hereby call the meeting, CRFR Board of Directors meeting to order. So the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Changes to the agenda.
The only thing I would recommend, sir, is move board policy after SDAO and bump SDO since Jeff's got to drive back too. So
I agree. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Any public comment? Online, okay. Any local 3215 report?
I spoke to President King. Jim, sorry, I forgot Jim was here. You wanted me to talk, Jim, forgot to walk indoors. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
And those things we do talk about seem to be pretty penny stuff. So most of our big issues have actually been resolved. So when we're talking about some penny stuff, that's a really good sign. So I would say thank you guys and administration for that continued relationship.
Well, thanks for you guys too. You know, it takes a village. So
Great to hear, thank you.
okay, volunteer report.
So there are no volunteers unless there's one online, Katie. Online.
There's not.
Okay, so to give a quick update, the volunteers have been committing themselves to every public event that we've had for the last June, July, and even into August. And so the latest was the National Night Out that the sheriffs had, law enforcement had the Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
And that we had volunteers come out and staff a booth and meet the public and participate. Engine company went down there as well again. 3215 has been fantastic working with us and trying to make sure we get into every public event that we can. And it's been very appreciative. So the volunteers have been over backwards to make sure they're in everything. So whether at the fair, rodeo coverage, STP and reindeer days, we've had a great turnout. And they really put a lot of time in. You know, it's obviously it's our busy time of the year. Summer is where we have most of our pub ed events. There are some more in August, and they're signed up and raring to assist the district. So they're working closely with our duty crews, and the duty crews are taking between calls when they can, are going down there as well, and it's being met well with the public. So I want to thank our volunteers and our career crews from making sure that they're out there meeting the public, not just on emergency incident.
That's great. Okay, correspondence. Thank you from Miss Miss and Birkenfeld RFPD.
Yeah, that was for the funeral for, Division Chief Bird. We had volunteers come and staff, apparatus went up there. They did the, ladder truck race, in front of the high school where they conducted the, procession that went through and also had the service. So they were just thanking us for participating and assisting with that.
Yeah, I read the letter, it was nice. Okay. The consent agenda. I make a motion to approve or to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion?
I was just curious, it shows us close to the executive session. Do we need to show it here what time it came out at?
Under-
Show it going in and coming out. Jerry might know.
Yeah, usually you do it time out, and this is usually best practice.
We didn't have anything after, so I think it would be right
Pretty
there.
close. Maybe we can just add that to the minutes for.
You do that. And again, you guys we went to executive session 6:30. You guys were out and it had, board member comments and closed 18:54.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to amend anything or,
You guys can ask it to amend it. We can go back and put it back in. I mean, it's
I
not,
don't know that's that important.
it'd be an approximate anyway, because I don't think we captured the time. when we came back.
well, you go back on video too, if there's any
We
question.
don't have videos.
The video went down. We
Oh,
lost.
when we came back up?
Yes.
Oh,
So I can give you an approximate when we came out, just based on that. So we can probably add that one line in there too. Just approximately what time we came out of it. Because you guys went to board member comments in about 5 minutes. So we can probably approximate it pretty close.
okay. Any other questions? Anything on the money side of it?
Well, on checks, check number 75017, the Mitchell one, I just haven't seen them before. Mitchell one, and the check number is 750.
That's online and shop.
And
That's
then,
the important, yeah, for everything they give.
and then the quality signs, is that just a wrapping of a rig or something or?
Wasn't it the?
Conflag trailer.
Yeah, the conflict that you guys were splitting with Scap Booze.
Yeah, so we paid for it up front, and Kate was invoiced the district, so they'll all pay 20% coverage back to us for the cost of the conflict trailer. We've had it for years. It's been Scappies' trailer, but we have no markings on it, so it's even on fires. It's important that folks that are to the crews, that they know, people know who they're coming, where the help's coming from.
Any other discussion? Questions? Okay. Let's go vote. All in favor of approving the agenda?
Aye. Did we have a motion?
We seconded it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had discussion.
I have notes over here on how we do this stuff, so I got this. Okay, new business. Miller Nash, Leonie Reeves.
You want to do chief officer?
Oh, sorry.
I just want to get the meeting done soon. I'll try to keep it short. So a couple of things. Clearly, there's been a lot of change in the organization over the last 12 months. And again, dovetailing on what Lieutenant Polito brought up, the atmosphere in the organization has improved greatly. The relationship with the board, the union, the volunteers, the administrative staff, I believe, is going in the right direction. And then we're seeing the fruits now. The labor was there to get us to where we are, and we still have a ways to go, but we are in a much better position than we were before. I'd like you to refer to your the cash flow analysis that Chief Sanchez puts together. When you look at the chart, the third page. So one of the big things that with everything that's occurred with the organization, trying to find the funds to continue the operations through November has been a challenge. And I wanted to give some recognition to both Chief Sanchez and Chief Cole. for doing their due diligence. We have saved a significant amount of money by curbing costs, minimizing multiple expenditures that were the same style, same line, condensing them down into a single bill. And for Chief Cole, he has been actually very diligent following up and reviewing charts. And on average, he's seen anywhere between 10 to 20 that he is finding errors on that are minor, but those minor errors may keep us from getting any revenue from them. And so he's corrected those and sent them in. And if you figure approximately $1,000 of transport, that's about $20,000 a month that he's been able to help ensure that we're receiving those funds. So the positive that I want to take out of just those two gentlemen doing their job very diligently is we have right as of July 31st, 2.7 and some change in our account. We still have revenue coming in over the next 3 months. And so as of right now, we do not anticipate that it would be necessary to draw funds to continue operations until our tax revenue comes in November. Chief Sanchez is working and supplying information to Inroads. Chief Cole and I met with them last week or the week before? Last week. Last week we met with Inroads and we were seeking a line of a secured loan should we need funds. They were very, very friendly, incredible community bank that wants to provide and help the fire service. And so they are working with Chief Sanchez to secure us a line of credit. We do not believe we're going to need it, but we will keep it available for a contingency should something catastrophic happen, lose an ambulance or fire engine, or building collapse or something, God forbid, and we have to replace something, it will give us some funds for that. So having the availability of those funds is great. So I want to thank Chief Cole and Chief Sanchez for their diligence and working and helping this get done. This isn't the only folks that have helped us. 3215, our volunteers and this board have helped get us to where we are. We work very closely with 3215 on finding ways to maximize our dollar and spread it as far as it can go. And with our current response models, Lieutenant Fleet was alluding to, those are all the kinks we're working out. We're trying to change the way this organization responds and the way that this organization provides service to the public and provide better service. And we believe we are doing it. And again, it's going to take little tweaks. And so I want to thank 3215, our volunteers, this board, and the rest of our administrative staff for all their diligence. That's why we're here today. And so this is very positive of me. I'm very excited to tell you guys that there's a very high likelihood we will not have to draw funds, which is fantastic, but we will still have those available should something catastrophic happen. Chief, would you like to add anything?
Staying busy, working on our ASAs due at the end of the month. Pretty much have everything together. I like to try to get stuff done early and sit on it for a week and then review it. But all the information's there. If I hadn't turned it in tomorrow, I could. So that's good to go. What's unique about our ASA is we actually have two ASAs. We have the Rainier one, the St. Helens one. We used to be able to just apply for one with one document. This year, we have to apply for them individually. So I actually have to do two documents, which doubles the work. But a lot of the information in there is going to be the same. So that's good to go. The other thing that I'm finishing up is there's Medicare reporting, basically is what it is. And each agency has to do that about every 4 years. And they look at a certain year. So the year that they're looking at is 2023. To give you an idea of how much work it is, just for kicks, we contacted our insurance, the person that handles our insurance for medical payments and stuff. And they say, yeah, actually, we've got a vendor that will do that for you. Bids are free, or quotes are free. So we're like, okay, sure, send that to us. They'll teach you how to do it for $2,500, or they'll do it for you for $30,000.
35,000.
35,000. So we decided to go ahead and do it in-house. So that's been taking us quite a bit of time. I have until October 10th. It should be done. It's just like, it's about to nauseate. It's, trying to do your business taxes or something by yourself. So, but we're saving 35 grand to do it in-house. So.
He made to do for 15. He said that.
Yeah, I said I do. So that's been taking up a lot of time. Other than that, we onboarded the rest of our single role employees last week.
three employees, two single roles, one firefighter paramedic. And they're already doing their MCAP. As soon as the firefighter paramedic is done with his FTAP portion, he'll start working on the fire portion. And then the other two medics will be put on the road. Just full disclosure with one of the single roles is he is in the Air Guard still. He's going to be doing a deployment. When he applied, I knew that right away, but I didn't say anything to anybody because you're not supposed to. He got picked and he's like, yeah, you know, thanks for hiring me. I'm going to be going on a 6-month deployment in October. I'm like, thank you for your service. You know, we appreciate that, you know, so we're looking at some options of maybe bringing in a tent volunteer or something in his place when he's gone. But it's okay, you know, I mean, he's serving our country in a different way, but just kind of letting you know that's on the horizon in senior roles, but it's not a big deal.
So the plans for him to return once he's get back in.
Yeah, he wants, you know, we'll hold his job until he gets back. And might have to refresh him on some FTAP stuff, which is like no big deal, might happen. And he'll be back in 6 months. So he's not even quite sure where he's going yet. So, but he said he'll let us know. But they're all really great folks. They're already getting good reviews and stuff.
Well, that's single roles, paramedics or EMTs.
So the EMTs and then the firefighters, paramedic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's that bring our staffing up to now?
And 27 firefighters, will have 8 single days. 2 day cars, one will be from 7A to 7P, then will be from 3P to 3A.
Gotcha. So far that 3B to 3A has saved us a few times. I mean, it's like really, it's worked, you know. But we're continuing to evaluate that time spot for 6 months to see how it does. To really get a good look at it. We need it full, you know, we need, because they do 4 on 4 off. So right now, we're doing 2 cars, 4 days, 1 car, 4 days. Once these guys get through the FTAP, then we'll be doing multiple cars.
Is this our 3rd month since we kind of changed included more of the single roles as
Yeah,
three?
yeah, in a perfect world, it would have went a little bit faster, but the hires that we had couldn't start until basically mid-July.
Yeah.
And so since it was mid-July, they just, to get it all started, it was at the 29th is when they started.
So your Medicare goes till October, is that right?
Ours does. Yeah, I got an extension.
Sweet.
And they're, if you're looking for an extension, they're real good about giving them. So.
Just thinking like we can do like see what the staffing report on how the us changing or the
Right.
our new staffing model, but I don't want to make it heavier on you guys until that Medicare stuff.
Yeah.
I know that stuff's important.
And we have continuum. My plans was to take the continuum class so I could really learn how to do it. And I was going to do that in September, as soon as the ASA was submitted. But then this Medicare one, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take that class yet. So, but my plan is once these 2 big projects, because if you don't do the Medicare reporting, you actually lose your Medicare funding. Not all of it, but a percentage. So they're really important. And of course, if you lose your ASA, you don't have an ambulance. So those are 2 really big projects. And once those are done, I was going to take that continuum class. They provide it's a Zoom class, but still, it all takes time.
I agree. Well, it's good. It sounds like we've, you guys have saved about $325,000 at the same time this year from last year, so.
And we saw an increase in revenue. So the revenue has been, again, due to the diligence of our staff and Chief Cole, back checking and finding a few that may have not gotten paid and we're able to get funds for it. So,
You know, and one more thing to continue that revenue increase, we're hoping to bring a new billing proposal to you. Sort of charge for car wrecks, hazmats, Yeah, IFTs, lift assists. The lift assists, will be like for systemic customers, they're calling like 5, 6, 7, 8 times, because it does take resources. So those, I mean, is it gonna be a lot of money? But probably not, but it will, help pay the diesel bill, fuel bill. So it does cost to go out and, do those, calls.
Steve Sanchez, anything you want to?
Good news, the first audit, you guys know, you got that presentation, that one's done. The second one, in person, live and in person, when they're with us, is done. They gave us about 4 to 5 weeks from that, you'll get another report, so we will officially be caught up. And then the other one is due by December 31st. And they think they can make that or be very close to it, and the state knows what's going on, so that's all moving forward and looking good. So, we were able to get through that process. The correlation numbers of what they're saying, the numbers correlate as well. Him doing his due diligence with that. Also, the single roles, you can see numbers wise. With the fact that they're running our calls and filling out the information on English trend and gathering that demographic information that is correlating to more revenue, which is nice. It's never going to be a for-profit business, but it is correlating to more revenue. So it's been a great team effort from the union and having going through that. So you can actually see it. It's not just hearsay. You can see it tangibly just in the numbers. So it's nice. Other than that, thank you.
Any questions for us?
I think you did a great job answering them. Anything I may have had.
No, yes, like just, like I was saying, that maybe how that new staffing model in a few months, but I don't wanna wait you guys down until we get some of that.
I anticipate, being able to bring those numbers back by then. So, right now with the continuum, I know enough to be dangerous. Kind of self-taught myself some, stuff. I mean, that program really can do just about anything you want it to do. I mean, it's just so effective,
The biggest thing is for your staffing, right, the reports that Chief Cole's gonna pull is that until the second car stood up fully, where we have both cars up 24 hours, 20 hours out of 24 hours a day, we'll have basic data. But we need 6 months and then a year, and then so we will continue to provide data for you guys, but clearly it's something we're watching and we're working with her to keep it clean. Are we meeting our calls? Is the first day car running is rear end off and the other one's sleeping or sitting in the chair half the night. So do we need to adjust times? So this is something we're monitoring daily. We'll provide that stuff for you guys as well. Yeah.
Okay, any old business?
Nothing for you, sir.
Okay, now new business. Miller Nash, Leonie Reeves introduction.
Ms. Reed? Order?
And I do a lot of my work is with public entities, so a lot of the bread and butter stuff is like public meetings, public records, public contracting, procurement, all of that daily business of running a public agency is really what I do.
Great, and my name is Leonie Reeves, and I've been at Miller Nash for a short period of time. I've only been there about 8 months, but I've spent last 20 years as a public player, working either in a private firm with public clients or in public service. So I started out of law school with the Oregon Attorney General's office, where I supported state agencies in litigation. I worked 4 years for the governor's office and House Regional Council stuff to governor kids over. And then for the last 10 years, I've been private practice, working primarily with state and local governments, special districts, doing everything from litigation defense, a lot of employment work, a lot of the stuff that Christy does around public meetings, public records, constitutional issues, free speech issues. And so, yeah, most of my clients at this point are local government clients, and we're really pleased to be able to help support the district. We come from a firm, there's about 150 lawyers, and we range in all areas from real estate to land use to public contracting to labor and employment. litigation, so we're hoping that, any needs that, we hope you don't need us for, but if you do, we're hoping that we can, find someone to help support you in whatever ways you need support. Some of the main people that aren't able to be here today, but that is be, hopefully able to support you, Trevor Caldwell and John Stelweiner are both very experienced public labor lawyers. They do a lot of collective bargaining and other, just traditional labor issues. Cosette Tran Coffee is real estate lawyers, to the extent you have any real estate or land use needs. She is available. Craig Ashford, does a lot of public finance and tax issues, public bonding, those types of things. And then Heather Van Meter has a background that's very similar to mine. She sort of, spent a lot of time at the work at the Department of Justice, working with public agencies doing litigation, and now she's serving as, sort of general counsel to other special districts. And so we, that's sort of the core team, but we can always draw on any other lawyers in our firm to support you. So we're hoping to just be a resource, for as little as much as you need. Nobody likes to call the lawyer, but, we're certainly available when you need this, and gonna be to call us, when you feel like you need to, and I'll leave my cards. And we'd love to hear a little bit from you about, what you need, what you would like to see from your legal counsel team and how we can best support you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for
Well, your email's on there?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think we probably get out some thought and probably shoot you over just our kind of personal thoughts on what we think we might need. It's kind of calm right now, or pretty calm right now, so like, yeah. But we do appreciate having you on board. I do appreciate making the drive out here, so. Yeah.
Other lawyers, especially if there's a specific issue that you need consultation with, they'll be building out in person with you as well. Because that face-to-face relationship and understanding the community that you serve, in particular is important to us.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. So, you guys have already started the process of kind of like, I know that in your guys' proposal that we looked at was like 8 hours of like free stuff, just to kind of get caught up as to where we're at as a district and what you guys envision our needs would be as well, right?
Sorry.
You guys had like 8 hours of consultation, like freebie stuff to kind of get up to speed as to where we're at as a district.
Yeah, so, anticipated that there'd be some ramp up time to just get to sort of know the background of the district, some history, some of the historical information that might be important for us to know as we're going forward. Some of that is transition with, your former council. And, to the extent that there's time left in that, sort of allocated time, if there's any sort of background training or sort of more general information we can offer that would be helpful to the district or to sort of provide that service as well.
Cool. Well, it's good to have you guys on board. We'll hopefully never have to call you. Okay, well, are you ready?
I am.
SDAO Board of Retreat Review update.
Thanks. Take a look at this, please, read it carefully. I want it to be worded exactly as you want it to be. This is just an overview, mission, vision, values. You might remember that we struggled with getting the mission statement. The old mission statement we had was quite long and cumbersome, and it was more of a purpose statement. So, we broke the two apart. We put, a purpose up above New England's mission, vision, values. This is a mock-up, so your comments and changes are important, and you can get them to the chief and let us know where you'd like changes made. When we have a final document, the team that put this together suggested that we do a couple of three things. First, enlarge the Columbia River Fire and our emblem, raise it up, separate it a little bit so it's bolder. They think the color contrast is a little bit too close. They want to punch up the firefighters back a little bit, lighten those up. And then under the vision part, put a half of space in between so it blocks nicely and it reads well. But take a critical look at that and let me know what your thoughts are. This is the first evolution for the goals that we've got. We're gonna make some recommendations here. So when this is all done, you're gonna get a packet of all the stakeholders, everyone was there, all the things we discussed, strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities. We have a permanent document. But this is a mock-up of the goals. Now, we're gonna recommend that we go from 3 to 4 goals. And the things that are short-lived, the 18 months to 3 years items are gonna be objectives. The goals are probably gonna be items that are lifelong. You'll see that we have a financial goal, pretty straightforward. We have an ops goal, and we have a third goal there on the page. Staff recommended we go to a fourth goal and really a management goal, more directed at the board and the management team. That's the mock-up from the strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities so far. See if that resonates with you, and if you like what we're going with that. What you'll see next will be a finished piece. For each under each objective, we'll list the objective and then define what finished is and assign it to an individual to report back to the board on a regular basis. And then the chief and staff will be working on the action items from the objective to finish, so that every month you have small steps to get there. So that it pretty much assures that we're going to get there. And then with all of that will go on an engineer's Gantt chart, so you'll be able to track it on a monthly basis. And hopefully it'll be a big part of all of your board meetings in the future. Are we hitting the right spot? Is this resonating?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Okay, so you'll love the packet when it's done. It walks through everything that happened. Everything was there, all the discussion, strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities. And most important, I want this to be nimble. Life changes, nobody expected COVID to hit. When it did, our entire world changed. So we want to be able to quickly adopt for changes and make sure that long term that we're spot on with our revenue, with our staffing, and the service we give our communities. I loved your thoughts on our personnel, their importance. And, hopefully throughout the mission, vision, values, and the goals, you see that over and over again, that our people are our asset. Getting them up to speed, training, helping them have a career track is important. So what are your thoughts so far?
I think this is great.
So here's our gift for you, and we're not supposed to give gifts, but this isn't related to any kind of purchase. So I think we're fine. We're violating 243 correct. When you guys agree to this, when the board agrees to this and we make these minor changes, we're gonna blow it up and we're gonna frame one for each of your locations, each station, substation.
That's way cool. Yeah, I think it's great. I like I think the mission statement is spot on. I think our purpose is obviously that, and our mission and values are on point and everything we talked about. So I like it.
I want to thank each of you for spending a long and grueling day with dry pizza and soda pop to get us through that. We have a little more work in front of us, but we're having fun with it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Be safe.
You too.
Thank you, Jeff.
Any thoughts?
I have a couple. I'll give you a call.
Please.
No, they're minor, Jeff. It looks great. We really appreciate all the effort that SDA put into it.
We're gonna have fun with it. Be safe.
Thank you. Thanks for making the drive out here too.
My pleasure.
Okay, SDAO board, oh, no, we did that one. Board policy review and discussions, section A, 5 through 8. You guys read through it all?
So for Mark and Paul, yes, you guys have that. I just wanted to, I apologize, it fell off my plate, but I will get you guys a flash drive with all the board policies next week. I'll deliver it to you guys and bring it up to you.
I've already got it.
I think that was one that was gone.
Do you not have one then?
You know, one.
No, I do, because I got one at the beginning.
Okay, so you have one, Mark, so they said we're going to Paul then.
So-
Okay,
I'll have to double check, yeah. I'll let you.
I read through it. It seems pretty spot on. I mean, obviously that's brought to the attention that we forgot to get Paul his, but it was not through a mouse or anything, so. But yeah,
For what it's worth, I didn't see anything that I thought needed any changing.
no, I agree.
I didn't see any.
You know,
If we just talking about going into, like, do we have? Do we have any of the committees that it talks about currently?
Those are those
Sorry, I
are
said again.
Like, 770.
negotiations committee, training committee, finance committee. We have a finance committee, right?
Is required.
Yeah.
So the insurance committee is made up of two staff members and two union, they're both 13 they pay. We have not had a deployment committee one probably in 10 years, but we did have one at one time, and we can bring that back, and it's something that the board would like to direct that, we can. We just have, right now, this is the staff, and so having another committee, but we did have one at one time. Negotiation committee was only when we negotiated with 1315, so we do have a training committee, but it consists of Lieutenant Davis, Lieutenant Strasburg, Lieutenant Melton, and Lieutenant Chandler, and myself, and so that's their training committee right now.
I wonder, is training committee their training? Maybe,
Well, this is what it sounds like.
I mean, to have them do a deep dive into, train and,
Well, we wouldn't do negotiations committee.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do that. So I think this is more just of,
But I mean, like, what training did you guys plan?
unless we're supposed to be on one of
I
these
don't think I've ever
committees.
seen, tell a firefighter they need, do O's, I mean, or.
But they were made that committee.
I mean, when I get down there, you run faster.
Right, yeah.
But there was, when I first started in 2014, we did have a deployment committee. There was one board member on the deployment committee along with staff and some of the buying personnel.
What does a deployment committee entail?
Basically similar to what we're doing right now is the deployment of resources, outfitting the stations, where we've seen it with the continuum that Chief Cole's working with, that's going to help greatly. And so if at some point in the future, a board member would like to attend those meetings, they can. And that's what we've been doing with 1315 is looking at the heat mapping and determining where to deploy our resources the best. Right now, obviously, clearly the three communities we primarily protect with resources is St. Helens, Columbia City, and Rainier, and then everything in between. So really, we don't have any other resources in our call volume. I can tell you right now, looking at our charts, hasn't changed much for Goble, Deer Island, Fern Hill, because it's the same number of people living up there. We haven't had a 5-home subdivision building, but we are seeing increases in 7-1, 7-2 just because of that. So we had a deployment committee. Mark Reitzer was on it, and I remember attending meetings with him. So in the future, if that's something you guys wish to do, you guys can be somebody. You can select somebody from your group, the board of directors, and have them attend meetings. We just never call it a deployment committee. It's just basically the we're working with our 2 team to come out with the best staffing model we can do for the personnel we have.
How does that meet?
Well, basically what we mean is when we meet with 3215 is what we've been talking about. So this deployment model was one that we worked with 3215 to come up with. So we've been working closely with them is what, again, tracking numbers, tracking what resources are available. Are we keeping an engine in town? Do we have ambulances to cover the calls we have? So we've been meeting monthly. Because it is still new.
We could, since we started a new model, we do one either quarterly or what's every 6 months. But biannually.
I think we can do that. If you guys want to select a board member to attend, we can do that.
Okay.
Do you think quarterly or biannually would be better?
Probably, I would say biannually only because we want at least 6 months worth of data. And if we don't have, I mean, it's something 90 days, 120 days, it doesn't give us enough time because we could, as some of you know, that when the fire service, it's ebbs and flows. We could have a really hot summer and we'll run a lot of calls. School hits, our calls drop off. Why? All the kids go back to school. So we see a decrease in calls. Then around the holidays, it picks back up. So you just never know. And so I would think by to have that 6 months, we have a window to look at to determine if the way we have a resource deployed are meeting the needs of the citizens.
All right. And then the insurance committee, what does that entail?
So the insurance committee, as of right now, is 2 local 3215 members that they've selected, and myself and Chief Sanchez. And so we meet, we are required to meet, January.
Yes, we have to meet, so we get a preliminary report before every fiscal year of insurance rates going up this year, went up almost 7%. There's one thing we can do about that, this is health insurance and stuff, so then we meet with the union stuff, maybe unions are gonna happen, stuff that's outside of our control, we let them know. And we go over it, and then this next negotiating contract, the insurance committee, you know, is gonna be involved, and we'll be discussing that as well, so. But nothing changed this last time, so we met, it was kind of like, hey, everything's the same, they increased our cost 7% almost, and that's not anything we can do about it. That was reported in the budget, so.
Okay, so I think what I'm hearing is that it would be a good idea. We'll do biannually. And then with the insurance committee meeting is once a year.
Yes,
It's
so-
a first.
well, it can be more if it need be.
Okay, so we just probably should appoint a board member to go, like, there's 5 of them, there's 5 of us. So between us, we can table it for now, put it under old business and kind of give thoughts and the amount of time we have in our days and all that kind of stuff, and then we can kind of. But I think there should be representation on all of them, to be honest with you. I mean, that's our due diligence and that was what we signed up for, so I think we should do that.
Biggest thing that was a hinder, scare was legacy, not taking our insurance. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'm sure everybody saw that. That got resolved, but not by us, but by everybody, just there was information went back and forth, so it's great to be on that. For example, they're, you know, the hospitals are starting their stuff a little bit, saying, hey, we want more money, and the insurance company's like, we're not gonna pay you, and then they say they're not gonna take us, so that got resolved. There's a lot of information people were worried about that he's primary care and stuff.
I think at the end of the day, it's important if we're gonna be a board member, I don't wanna be, I can just gonna speak for myself, but I don't wanna just sit up here and go, oh, okay, good, you're doing a good job, sounds good. You know what I mean? Like to have your, get your hands, dirty a little bit. I think it's a good thing, right? It's called accountability, so. I think we'll do that. Everybody agrees?
Are there any other committees that you guys can think of that should be on this list or?
It's a great question.
Let us bring it to you next meeting. I don't believe so. One thing I hate is death by committee, and we have 85 committees, nothing ever gets done. And so, like you have 5 on your finance committees, you guys are already on the finance. I mean, that's what we do when we do with your this budget committee. So, so you're kind of already on that one. Training committee, you guys can come attend, but again, like Chief Cole said, if it deals with training for us or for the firefighters, unless you just want to come attend the list, that's totally fine too, which is fine. Negotiation committee, again, when we go to negotiate with 1315, the board should be involved in that. And then as far as insurance and deployment, you guys think about it, and then maybe next meeting, you guys decide who wants to do which one. And then we'll just make sure we add you guys to the group, meeting notice.
The only other one I just thought of was like an apparatus committee, just since I know we have so many apparatus and possibly sounds like we're gonna be getting a new ambulance as well. But
Yeah, if you guys want, I mean, again, it's your guys' time. If you'd like to attend the apparatus meeting, we're obviously not gonna tell you no. So we welcome it. You guys want to come down and see how the process works. The big thing about the apparatus committee is we have volunteers and career and admin staff on there. It's not, one individual making decisions. So yeah, if you guys like that, that'd be fine.
Good procurement council too.
that one doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, that's not-
Okay, well, we'll table that one for next meeting. Okay, anything else on here to?
So other than you guys table that, potentially adding that one, if you guys want to make a motion, if you guys are, amending this one, if you want to add the apparatus committee, we can add it to it. And then if so, then what I recommend is you guys accept it. We can
Yep,
change
we
it.
can
It's now
move
been
forward.
revised as of, July or August of. or,
You think we need
August of
that?
24.
Do you think we need to add an apparatus committee, or is that something that,
Apparatus, like we'd be notified if you're gonna make a purchase or.
Yeah,
anything. We'd
yeah.
be brought up to speed and.
yeah, I don't think we necessarily add it. My vote. Yes, we
Some of the,
It's not really our expertise, like.
some of the worst,
I think that,
apparatus builds I've seen had board members participate.
That makes sense.
Look at the fire department, seriously, and you're like, well, why did they do that? Well, we had such and such board member on there. And they really thought we needed that, but we didn't. I mean,
I think at the end of the day, it's not so much that you're not getting board input exactly. I want the axe holder here and the hose reel over here.
that's the.
It's just something like where the board is there. That way, if they go, oh, did you know they bought this? Well, no, you know what I mean? So it's just something that nobody can say, well, you didn't know, you know, it's kind of accountability. So at the end of the day, I might not know crap, but I'm gonna sit in the back, I'm just gonna listen. Like labor negotiations or the insurance negotiations. I think at the end of the day, I wouldn't mind being there just so I can hear how the ebb and flow is going, you know what I mean? Like how the overall, you know, I don't have a whole lot of input in it. It's not my gig. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, to be there and listen and hear how things are going. Yeah, then I can report back and say, hey, you know, it went well, or ooh, it's kind of icky, da, da, da. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So,
What I'm hearing is,
third party.
we're welcome to do that on any of.
Well,
Many
it
meetings.
can't be more than, it has to be not a quorum, right?
Yeah,
That can only
Yeah.
be two.
but I mean, if we want to show up, we can. I don't know that we need to make it to where somebody has to show up and have a say in it, you know, especially their apparatus.
Yeah, or if we even add the apparatus into these five deals. This is what a preview back in 2014, this got reviewed. So we're just going through, right? And we're amending or approving or make, you know, whatever we think is we should do. So
Well,
I don't think we have to
again,
add it.
I would defer, you know, what Chief Cole said. I've seen some where the board of directors decided what's gonna be on the fire apparatus, but if you want to come attend and see the process and then be able to speak to the board and say, hey, I sat and listened to these guys and then how they came up with this piece of equipment and what they did.
Mhm.
I think the first hand counts. So we'll, in our September meeting, we can bring you guys a list of the committees we currently have, which is training, EMS, obviously the budget committee. There's only a few others aren't on here. Apparatus committee, when we're gonna go buy something, that's when we start the apparatus committee. So at
Mhm.
which point, then you guys, one of you can decide to come and I think you guys would get, an education by coming there and seeing how we get to the point where a piece of equipment we're gonna buy.
I agree.
That's the important part.
I mean, that's what we're responsible for, right? Money. Right? It's taxpayer money. So
Yeah.
Why didn't you buy this one?
I'm meaning like where stuff's going, it's just so it's not. I 100% agree that stuff getting
If you don't want your board and scaffies to tell you where to put all the equipment, you
I mean,
know.
I want wireless phone.
My understanding, these boards, these are actually board committees.
Yeah.
These aren't like operations committees. These are board committees that were involved.
So the deployment committee had two board members. I remember. I mean, it's been 10 years, but there was two board members. So again, anymore than that becomes a quorum. And they just sat in with operations and the line staff and the other chiefs and determining where else, you know, how we're gonna deploy resources, if we're gonna staff a station or if we're gonna move equipment. And so again, can you guys be on those? Yeah, I think any one of those, and maybe you guys do it, and then every year you rotate, that way you're on a different committee and just come and listen. It's gonna educate the board far more than what we could do here in an hour or two meeting here at a board of directors.
Well, I think also, you know, in the past, there's been a lot of ex-firefighters that have been on the boards, right? So I'm not a firefighter, you know, so, you know, like me going on apparatus might be might be different than for, say, Rick or Austin, because they are firefighters or mechanics. So, yeah, I don't anticipate a whole lot of input that I would say, you know what I mean? Like, other than I want for this water, the phone chargers right here, you know, and I want some Wi-Fi action all the time. But other than that, I don't. Okay, well, so do you guys want to make a motion to adopt and approve it, or do you guys want to make changes?
I'll make a motion to adopt and approve it.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay, there we go. Cool. Alrighty, and board member comments. I would like to say thank you guys for making the trip, and we hope to not see you very often, but I do appreciate the drive. I know it's a long ways. We made a commitment a long time ago that we were gonna, because this is our district as well in Rainier, so we go every other month between here and St. Helens. I think it's important for our community, you know, and I met two police officers in Rainier. They didn't even know who the heck I was. I was like, oh shit, yeah. So that's a good thing though, right? And then thank you, Jeff, for always for your hard work and your team's hard work behind the scenes to get this all done, and it does look really, really nice. So yeah, I'm impressed. So, and then thank you, obviously, you guys and Kate. Thank you. You guys do a great job, and yeah, we're plugging along, and I like it. And thank you, 3215. You guys obviously, we would be in a different it'd be a different story here if you guys didn't do your job and get up there and do it that you guys do every day. So I appreciate that. Anything else? Okay.
I gotta get some, oh, first off, like to introduce Pastor Barry.
Yep.
He's here, he's one of the chaplains. I don't know if everybody knows Pastor Barry or not, but I've worked with him as a chaplain and just, he's done outstanding service. It's amazing when he shows up on a scene. I just want to recognize him being here. And then I had a couple interactions. My stepdad actually passed away and in the district. And so the fire department showed up and did a great job. I really appreciate how they handled everything. And they transported him. He was kind of in and out. And I just, being a chaplain, I know that sometimes we transport, you know, and it's close. And I was just really thankful they did. So we didn't have the trauma and everything if it passed in the house and that sort of thing. And then Rainier Days, I brought a gentleman over to the department and did an excellent job, very professional, bunch of volunteers. It's actually kind of fun because there was quite a few staff. And so it's kind of fun to see everybody.
Sorry about your loss. That's it. Ricky, anything?
Thank you again, Union, Jim Greg, and the rest of the union for what you guys do. You know, working with you, district to, keep things going on an even keel. I'm Mr. Barry. I'm Steve, a long time, appreciate him very much. Thank you for coming up to the legal interview thing for here. Gonna call it, introductions. Thanks to the staff for keeping things going. They were not 300,000 this year from last year.
Yeah, that's a good positive.
Well, I echo what everybody else says, but I think what really evident to me is the teamwork that's going on here with well, not to rehash everything, but everybody's working to common goal, right? And it's showing. It's showing. So thank you for all of that. Important.
Yeah, I think we have all the key players in spots. And yeah, we're plugging along.
I do have one follow if you guys don't mind.
Of course.
So, Columbia River Fire and Rescue's had two fairly serious accidents in the last about 2 weeks. The latest one was, at the top of the hill here, just past, Larson Road. And I want to recognize a former member, which is, Bill Goodwin, who was the fire marshal here. Bill saved those people's lives. So they're alive today because Bill Goodwin, being in current as deputy sheriff, happened to be on a traffic stop about half a mile from it. Burglary crash was first on scene, and his actions most likely saved the mother and that child. They're still in critical condition and at the hospital, but Bill, still a paramedic and still functions volunteers for Class I. But if Bill hadn't been there and did what he did, that lady and her child may not be here today. So I really do appreciate it. I called Bill, thanked him personally, and just want us to know that it's his actions that two people in a new life were brought into this world, and hopefully we'll have a long life beyond this. So again, I want to go on record and thank Bill for everything he did on that call.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Okay. If there's nothing else, I'd say we adjourn and enjoy the rest of the evening. All right, it is 6:51 and I'm calling the meeting to an end. Thank you. I got a timer that's your body, of course.
You. Come on down.